United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Chair, City Council, Mayor, our city attorney, to our city treasurer and deputy clerk, and to the audience. Tonight is the City of Romulus City Council regular meeting, and today's date is Monday, August 28, 2017. At this time, we will have roll call. Councilwoman Abdo.
Present.
We know that Councilman Barton is absent. Councilwoman Choate.
Here.
Councilman Kraut.
Here.
Councilwoman Makowski.
Here.
Councilwoman Roscoe.
Here.
And Councilman Wadsworth.
Here.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum for this meeting tonight. Tonight, we're presenting an amended agenda, which are indicated by the asterisks next to those items on the agenda. Tonight's amended agenda is as follows. Number 1, agenda. Number 2, minutes. 3, petitioner. 4, chairperson's report. 5 is the mayor's report. 6A is the clerk's report. 6B, treasurer's report. 7 is public comment. 8, unfinished business. 9, new business. 10, communication. 11 is warrant 17-16. And number 12 is adjournment. And a motion would be in order to accept the amended agenda as presented.
So moved.
Support. The motion to accept the agenda is by Councilman Kraut, supported by Councilwoman Roscoe. Councilman Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Motion is carried.
Number 2 are the minutes. Item 2A for approval are the minutes from the regular council meeting held on August 14th, 2017.
So move for August the 14th, 2017.
Support.
The motion is by Councilman Wadsworth, supported by Councilwoman Abdo, to approve the minutes from August 14th, 2017. Is there any discussion? Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Motion carried.
Number 3 is petitioner. We have Madam Chair and Council, Ms. Barbara Sanders. She's the director of the Hand Up nonprofit organization, and she's here tonight requesting the city to waive the building inspection fees for her proposed Hand Up Resource Center located at 35661 Van Born Road. And if Ms. Sanders is here, you can address council at the podium.
Thank you, council members, for having me here and putting this on the agenda. Thank you. I'm here asking for the fee to be waived because I'm a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and I receive my funds through donations from residents and the initiative grant from Wayne Metropolitan Action Agency. So starting this resource center, I wanted to ask council to waive the fees.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to, I have a discussion point, but you were gonna,
No, I had a question. Go ahead. Go
okay.
ahead first.
I'll make the motion to approve this with a question after.
I'll support it, but I have a question too.
The motion to waive this fee is by Ms. Makowski, supported by Mr. Wadsworth. Is there any discussion? Yes.
Yes. Mrs. Sanders, could you tell the audience, tell our viewers a little bit about your organization and how they could contact you if they wanted to donate anything?
Okay, thank you. I'm a nonprofit social service organization. I work with the community where there are low-income residents. I assist and direct them to other larger nonprofits to service them if they have special needs.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
If I could, to the chair, this is wonderful because we have a lot of people in our town that do need help. But you talked about you get funds. Is this on a regular yearly basis for the
Yearly
block grant?
basis or from donations from,
I know the donations, but you do have an income every
yes,
year.
through the initiative grant from Wayne Metropolitan Action Agency where I'm a RAC member.
And that's based on what you did in the previous year. How many people you would help would make the difference?
You just apply for it every year, and they split it up between the organizations that apply
Okay,
for
fine.
it.
I think you're doing a wonderful thing. Fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
And I vote yes. The motion is carried. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Number 4 is the chairperson's report.
I don't have a report tonight, however, I think we have a few people here from Senior Olympics 2017. And I'd like to turn this portion of the agenda over to the mayor.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. We're excited this year. We've got seniors out. You heard the clanging of the medals out there as we're getting ready for the meeting. I'm happy to report that we had 12 gold medals, 10 silver medals, and 8 bronze medals. Reminder that also for future, it's really 50 and older for next year. So if you're interested, you missed out this year, love to have you be a part of it. But more importantly, we have participants here with their medals. So what I'd like to do is just have them stand and have them be recognized and thank them for representing us. So. Thanks for supporting the city of Romulus. Appreciate all your efforts. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
This time, if there's nothing else under the chairperson's report, if we can council will entertain a motion to accept the chairperson's report.
I'll make a motion to accept the chairman's report.
Support.
Motion is by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Kraut to accept the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
And I would vote yes. Thank you. The motion is carried.
Number 5 is the mayor's report.
Good evening, City Council, Treasurer, Clerk, Deputy Clerk, and audience. First, I want to thank my Chief of Staff, Julie Waitoko, filling in at the last meeting for me. I had a chance to go up to the UP, and bittersweet, sweet because it's great when you're in the UP and close to nature. The bitter part is coming back when this, the stuff in the media and in our country and the hatred and anger and just the negativity that's out there was really a cold slap in the face, getting back to it. And I guess what I want to say to our residents is get off of social media, turn off the television, and love your neighbor. There's just way too much negativity, and it was nice to get away from it, but boy, what an awakening coming back to it. So with that, my quote that I tried to kind of tie into this message is this: the only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday. So I thought that fit perfectly, and that's my message for my quote tonight. A few other things that are going on. We've been busy. We had a great weekend, a lot of events to kind of highlight some of those. Roger, could you play the video clip, please, for some of the other things to mark your calendar with?
Hi everyone, and here's what's coming up around Romulus. The Romulus Farmers Market continues on Wednesdays at the Historical Park from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. A new archery league also continues on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. at the range at Elmer Johnson Park. A new grandparent-grandchild date night will be held Friday, September 8th. Tickets are $10 per couple and must be purchased by September 5th. Reminder that city offices will be closed for the Labor Day holiday on Monday, September 4th, and will reopen for regular business hours on Tuesday, September 5th. Please note that Waste Management curbside rubbish removal will not have pickup on the 4th and will be under a 1-day delay on the 5th through the 8th. Stay tuned for more details on this and any of our other events by visiting our website, romulusgov.com, or like the City of Romulus page on Facebook. Thanks, and have a great week, everybody.
Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, Roger. A couple other notes, and we'll get into my action items. Also, as mentioned, John Barton is out tonight. I just wanted to ask our community to keep him in your prayers for the loss of his brother-in-law. We'll get more of those details once we have them. Also, which has been all over, and just devastating weather in the whole Texas area and beyond Texas, really the whole Gulf Coast. Please keep those people in your thoughts and prayers. Just unbelievable torrential rains and winds and storms. So we've got it pretty good right here in Michigan right now. So with that, let's get into my action items that we have before you tonight, City Council. I'm excited. We have two big items that are before you right out of the gate with my report. As we all know, we've worked hard looking at opportunities to allow our 34th District Court that we're blessed to host to kind of take us into the future. They've been kind of settling over there with the amount of volume that they have. So we're excited tonight. We have the three judges. We have the court magistrate. We have our staff. We have Plant Moran. We have bond counsel. We have Steve Hitchcock. And we're excited to present, which has been a kind of a lead project for Mr. Bob McCrate, which is a final result back to you. As you know, we looked at rehab. That wasn't practical, economical. So we feel we have a good plan before you with both the issuance of bonds and an MOU. So with that, what you have before you in the first item is 5A. And what I have is a request to concur with the recommendation of Pat McGow Bond Counsel and to authorize the administration to adopt the attached resolution to grant authorization for the mayor and the clerk to execute the necessary documents to authorize the notice of intent for issuance of the 34th District Court capital improvement bonds in the amount not to exceed $17 million for the purpose of paying the cost and acquiring, constructing, furnishing, and equipment for the new court facility, together with all necessary parking and site improvements.
Madam Chair, if I may, I'd like to make the motion to concur with the administration and adopt the attached resolution to grant authorization for the mayor and clerk to execute the necessary documents to authorize the notice of intent for the issuance of the 34th District Court capital improvement bonds in an amount not to exceed $17 million. That's for the purpose of paying the costs acquiring, constructing, furnishing, and equipping a new court facility, together with all the necessary parking and site improvements, with discussion.
Support.
Discussion also.
All right, the motion is by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to concur with the administration and adopt a resolution to grant authorization for the mayor and clerk to execute necessary documents to authorize the notice of intent for the issuance of 34th District Court capital improvement bonds in an amount not to exceed $17 million for the purpose of paying the cost, acquiring, constructing, furnishing, and equipping a new court facility, together with all necessary parking and site improvements. Ms. Makowski?
Yes, I wanted
Was there
to,
discussion?
since,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you. Since this is a big project, I just wanted to say a few words on that beyond what the mayor said. This is, what we're doing here is supporting a relationship that we've had a long time as the host community for the court. Not only is it financially lucrative for us, but this project will be fully funded by the court fees. So there's a commitment there, and no money from the city of Romulus, from the general fund, or will be paid for this. And then, of course, as well, you think about trust. Well, we've got this relationship, but we've also got past history, with the court. They put out a budget and a plan every year, and they achieve it year after year. So the risk to this is virtually none. So that's why I support this.
Thank you. Mr. Wadsworth?
If I could, and I confer what Mrs. Mankowski said also, but could we get either Mr. McCowan or Frank Audie to just give us the mechanism how it's being funded so the public can hear?
From the bond standpoint, that would
Whichever-
be Pat McGowan.
Pat McGowan, yeah.
Great. Good evening, members of council. Pat McGow here is your bond counsel. So essentially, and this, as you know, is a discussion that's gone on for many years related to the new court facility with various iterations of this. Essentially, this project is being funded by court fees generated by the court. So the court, a couple years ago, instituted a fee which is essentially to be used to pay for a new court facility and debt service on bonds for that court facility. There's been a lot of different agreements with the city over the last couple of years. There's another item on the agenda here, a memorandum of understanding relating to that. But essentially, the idea is that the court is going to be paid from fees from court cases that go before the court. There's a fee scale in place that generates money that then is transferred to the city to be used to pay debt service on the bonds. So essentially, as Mrs. Mikowski said, it's paid for by the court revenues that are generated by the court. Now, I will say, as is the case with most other bonds of this type that the city issues, the city will also back it up with its full faith credit pledge. So that in the event the funds are short, then the city would need to come up with the money to pay it. But the expectation is based upon the history of this funding that the money is going to come entirely from court fees over the 25-year life of the bond issue.
Okay, fine. And I guess my question would be to Frank Gaudy, who is he's the city auditor. We can handle this with this way this mechanism is put in place, and the taxpayers aren't flipping the bill for it.
You can handle it because, as said, it's coming from a separately initiated fee by the court. It's not coming from property tax revenue.
I understand that. I want the public
And
to
there's
hear.
and there's a mechanism in the agreement whereby several times a year, the court and the city will look at the fees being assessed to pay for the debt service, and if there's any adjustment that's necessary to those fees, that will take place. And if the judges would like to
Thank you.
comment on that, they're more than welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Abdo?
So if there is a cost overrun on the building, the city is liable for that, am I right? That will be coming out of city funds?
Well, I think the expectation is that the bond amount is going to be capped at $17 million.
Right.
The project cost is more than that, but there has been cash that's been built up because this funding has been in place for a couple years. And so there will be funds remaining according to the budget in that fund in the event that the project does go over budget. I don't know what the exact numbers are. Bob can address that. But essentially, between the cash and the bond amount, there's still additional cash left over if it turns out that the project comes in over budget.
You know what we have?
There will be an amount that's in the reserve account that was 2-1 was estimated.
By the time, I mean, our estimate was that by the time they start construction, there would be at the minimum $750,000 still in a reserve fund that could be used for supplemental payments if they were necessary. Plus, in the calculations itself, like in any construction project, there is built in a contingency amount in that 17 million, that 18 million, so that if there's something that comes up that's unforeseen, you've got a contingency amount that's already built in there.
Yes. Yes, Ms. Resco?
Only question I really have put out there is a question's been asked. When do you plan on starting? When do you plan on having it finished?
You want to address the construction side?
Could you,
Approximately.
If we have the same kind of winter we've had the last 2 years in a row, we're looking at starting at least as soon as March. As soon as the frost laws are lifted, we can start working on this. We've already had the building department inspectors running through plan review to give a preliminary plan review on it to expedite the process. And so if we have a light winter, we can start early spring.
Thank you.
thank you. Any other discussion, any other questions? All right, the motion is by Ms. Mikowski, by Mr. Ms. Resco. Ms. Mikowski?
Yes.
Ms. Vasco?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Avdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Motion is carried unanimously.
Thank you, City Council. The second part of that 5A2 is what was mentioned earlier. This is the memorandum of understanding. So what I have before you is a request concur with the recommendation of our legal counsel, and respectfully request that you concur with the administration and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached memorandum of understanding between the City of Romulus and 34th District Court for the purpose of pursuing the construction of a new 34th District Court facility in the City of Romulus.
So moved.
Motion is by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Kraut, to concur with the administration and authorize mayor and clerk to enter into a memorandum of understanding between the City of Romulus and 34th District Court for the purpose of pursuing the construction of a new 34th District Court facility in the City of Romulus. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Roscoe?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Motion is carried.
Thank you very much, City Council. The next item that's before you is 5B, and this is a request as a recommendation from Lynn Conway, Purchasing Director, and Maria Lambert, DDA and CDBG Director. And this is to concur with the administration award bid ITB 17/18-03, and that's to the lowest responsible and responsive bidder, Raymart Asphalt, Inc., for the paving of the right-of-way of the west side of Hunt Street in the Romulus Historic Park area. The amount is $34,719. These funds have been verified and budgeted and are available in the CDBG Fund Park and Recreation Facilities account.
Chair, I'll make that motion for ITB 17/18-03, CDBG project, parking area, asphalt work on the west side of Hunt Street.
Support.
Motion is by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Makowski, to concur with the administration and award the bid ITB 17/18-03 to the lowest responsible and responsive bidder, Raymart Asphalt Incorporated, for paving of the right side of the west side of Hunt Street area in the Romulus Historical Park in the amount $34,719. Any discussion? Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Motion is carried.
Thank you, Council. The next item is a request that came through Suzanne Marino, Financial Services Director, and this is a request to concur with the administration and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into an agreement with Gabriel Roeder Smith and Company for the actuarial valuation to determine the city's retiree health care plan, and that is based on the Gatsby 74-75 standards, and that'll be for June 30th of 17, 18, and 19.
So moved.
Support.
Motion is by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Kraut, to concur with the administration, authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into an agreement with Gabriel Roeder Smith and Company for the actuarial valuation to determine the city's retiree healthcare plan. Any discussion? Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Makowski?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Motion's carried. Thank you.
Thank you, City Council. Next item is D. What you have before you is a request, a recommendation from Suzanne Marino, Financial Services Director, with a revised memo date of August 25th. And this is to concur with the administration and authorize the approval of the fiscal year 2016-2017 encumbrances for capital outlay purchases and various city projects in the amount of $1,610,020.04. This will be rolled over into the fiscal year 17-18 budget and paid accordingly, and these are for the items that were not received or completed by June 30th of the last fiscal year.
So moved.
Support.
Motion is by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Roscoe. To concur with the administration, authorize approval of fiscal year 2016-17 encumbrances for capital outlay purchases and various city projects in the amount $1,610,020.04 to be rolled over into FY 17-18 budget and paid accordingly. Is there any discussion? Yes, Ms. Abdo.
Ms. Marino, can you come up and explain this, please? I have a hard time with thinking that all these have to be rolled over.
Sure. We do this every year, if you recall. Go ahead, Sam.
Evening.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just standard practice that we have every year at the end of the fiscal year, because we do have major projects out there, whether it's a water main, a road project, or if in fact we've gone out to bid for a vehicle that maybe hasn't been received by June 30th because it's either, they're being changed over or something's occurring, we roll those funds over through the encumbrance system in our BSNA program to be actually expensed and recorded in the 17-18 fiscal year. So they're no longer an expense in 16-17, they now become a 17-18 expenditure.
Is this amount rather high?
There's a lot, if you look on there, there's a lot of projects that
Yeah, I
are still
saw that.
hanging out there. There's the Vining Road, not just the road project, but there's the water main project. There's the DWSD partnership that we had, agreement. It actually has a breakdown on the bottom by fund.
that.
So, the water and sewer is the major portion of it. That's about $703,000.
Probably why that's so inflated.
Yeah.
Okay, I just need more explanation. Thank
It
you.
is a lot more than it was last year, but,
That's what I thought. I just,
yeah,
mainly because of the water and sewer.
correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
No, I understand.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Motion is carried.
Thank you, Council. The next item is no action required, just for your information, on emergency repair. We do have an additional item after that, which is F, and what you have before you is a recommendation that came through Roberto Scapitici, Director of Public Works, and Steve Hitchcock, Legal Counsel. And this is a request to concur with the administration and adopt the attached resolution to file a petition on the Drain 1 and 3 crossing the stand-in investment parcels located on Warman Road, that's south of Eureka and north of Pennsylvania Road. As part of their development, portion of this drain will be abandoned and the drain will be rerouted accordingly. The resolution allows Wayne County to conduct a public hearing to solicit public comment.
I'll make that motion with a discussion, please.
Support.
Motion is by Makowski, supported by Wadsworth, to concur with the administration and adopt a resolution to file a petition on the drain number 1 and 3 crossing at the stand-in investment parcels located on Warman Road, south of Eureka and north of Pennsylvania. As part of that development, a portion of the drain will be abandoned and the drain rerouted accordingly. Is there any discussion?
Yes, please, through the
Yes.
chair. Just a quick clarification, and that is the rerouting. That's no Romulus funds, right? This is a Wayne
Well,
County?
it's a Wayne County project.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. No money for us. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Oh, I had the same question. The mayor answered it.
Okay. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth? Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you, City Council. The only last item, I just want to give a shout out to my friend Stan Bragg. Wish him well. Hope he's doing well. I know he has some health issues, so hang in there, Stan. We're all pulling for you and praying for you. Thank you.
6A is the clerk's report. Thank you, Mayor Burcroft. Under the clerk's report, under 6A1, we're asking council for approval to approve the free citywide garage yard sale. The proposed dates are for Thursday, September 28th through Sunday, October the 1st, with rain dates of Thursday, October 5th through Sunday, October the 8th.
So moved.
Support.
A motion is by Mr. Kraut, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to schedule a free citywide yard sale September 28th through October 1st, or a rain date of October 5th through October 8th. Is there any discussion? Yes.
Are you going to put out another list as to, people can sign up, let people know where they're gonna be and when?
Yes, we'll have a, yes, ma'am.
Mainly, what is the deadline for that, to get on that list?
The deadline is, on the flyer is, I believe it's September the 8th is the deadline, but pretty much once you get it to us, we kind of work with everyone leniency. And we have that date so that we can get it in the newspaper as well. And what doesn't get published in the newspaper, we'll have that available on the city's website and available for those residents to have access to a hard copy.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Motions by Mr. Kraut, supported by Ms. Roscoe. Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
I vote yes, motion's carried.
Thank you. As it was mentioned earlier, that Mayor Pro Tem John Barton has had a death in his family. His brother-in-law, James Penn, which is the founder and president of the Penn Funeral Home, in which we do a lot of business with them. And he passed away last night, and I would ask if council would adopt a memorial resolution for James Penn. He was also a Romulus resident.
So moved.
Support.
Motion is by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Kraut, to adopt a memorial resolution for James Penn. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Roscoe?
Yes.
And I vote yes, motion's carried.
Thank you. For your information, we've provided a notice from the state of Michigan, the Department of Environmental Quality public notice. Also, there's an invitation to City Council to attend the 2017 Michigan Municipal League Convention, and the dates are September 13th through the 15th, 2017, and that'll be held in Holland, Michigan. And with that, that concludes the clerk's report. 6B is the treasurer's report.
Good evening, council, mayor, clerk, deputy clerk, and audience. I have 2 items on the agenda tonight. One is for the Veterans Memorial. I do have a handful of customers that did request to purchase a brick, and I'm just asking anybody if they are interested. Please contact the treasurer's office, because we'd like to get about 10 or so before we actually call the gentleman out to do that work. So if you've been thinking about it, or you're interested, or you have questions about it, the Veterans Memorial is right out front of City Hall. And you can call the treasurer's office at 734-942-7580. We can answer any questions for you or give you any information, so please do contact us so we can get that done. And then finally, tonight I did the last quarterly report for fiscal year 16-17, and we had Mr. Brian Quinn with PFM today, and he went through the report more thorough than usual. And happy to say that in this quarter we earned over $46,000, which is great, especially with the fact that I am following Public Act 20 as well as the Romulus investment report. So within those guidelines, I can't go out and purchase stock and things like that, but with treasuries, agencies, money market, CDs, that type of thing, we were able to earn that. So so that's it for my report. And again, if you have any questions or about the Veterans Memorial, please call my office. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 7 is public comment, and this is a portion of the agenda that's set aside for those of you that are in the audience. If you'd like to have public comment, please raise your hand, and after you've been acknowledged by the chairperson, approach the podium, state your name, and we ask that you please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Please note that any questions or issues that you would like responded to from the administration or a city council, please note that it will be responded to under unfinished business. So during your public comment time, you will not be responded to your questions or your comments. We do, Madam Chair, have 2 requests this evening. The first one is Avery Ware. If you're here, yep, Mr. Ware, you can please approach the podium. Is that Mr. Patton? Are you together? Okay, then you can. And for the record, if you wouldn't mind just stating your name once more for us, please.
My name is Leonard Patton.
My name is Avery Ware.
I'm here.
Go ahead.
I'm here in regards to, I was here a while back about this house next door to me. And they're still continuously doing the same thing. I had talked to Mrs. Abdu, and she was saying that how things over there was not supposed to be there. It was illegal. It's still there. And I'm still having problems with them on my property, dumping Mountain Dew, riding over there with carts and everything. And I can't seem to get no kind of resolution here about this. I don't know whether it is that they don't understand what property line means, or they don't understand that you cannot cross over people's property and just walk across, take your car, drive across it, and just do what you want to do. You know, and you call the police, you can't get a police officer to come out. Well, the last time I was here, I did give you a police report that I had filed. Everybody got to look at it. I had a meeting with the mayor and some more people and everything. This has not got better. It has escalated. And I'm trying to get some kind of understanding here about what's going to be done here, because I'm not trying to do this in my own, because it would have been done. But what I'm trying to do is do this the right way. And that's come before you and try to get this resolved here, because it can't keep going on. I can't grow my grass, I can't keep my yard, because these people are consistently going across there anytime they get ready, you know, preferably at night, all times of night, you know, just cranking up the cars and sitting out there and just doing what they want to do. So there is no kind of respect here, okay? And I'm here again trying to get this resolved, you know? So I got some more pictures for you, you know, because they say a picture worth 1,000 words. So I'm going to pass the pictures around and let you look at them again. Hopefully, this will be resolved this time.
And my thing on it is, I don't know of any city in Wayne County or in Michigan for that matter where you can park broken down vehicles and they just sit on the street. There's a truck sitting out there on the street that doesn't even have a motor in it. The motor's sitting in the back of it. It's a Jeep behind it don't run. And we have limited parking on that street. And then when you take the weekend with the flea market and everything, there's nowhere for us to park or our guests to park. You know, it's you know, just seeking some type of resolution here.
Thank you.
Mrs. Chokes,
Yes.
if I could, I've been out there and looked, I think most of us have been out there and looking to the, Mr. McCray, wasn't there an issue over certification of occupancy in that house? And obviously, if there's a vehicle on the street that doesn't have an engine in it, we should take some type of action.
Right, we went to the site, we investigated, and we did have a rental home with nobody having a certificate of occupancy. He's going through the process now. Part of the holdup was he had a temporary structure because he had to replace the concrete in the driveway. The offer made from the property owner was once the concrete was repaired, the tenant could move his stuff out of the yard into the garage, get rid of the temporary structure, and then we'd issue a C of O. As far as the cars being there, there was some cars there. PD and orders working with them. It sounds like some new things have changed. Like he was saying, it sounds like it's escalated a little bit, and we might need to have ordinance go back out there and check out some things for them.
Okay, fine. We should take some type of action here. Thank you.
Anyone else?
The chief-
Yes, could you
the
come up
chief
to the
wants to
microphone,
respond to it.
please?
Were there more that wanted to talk, or did you want to do this under unfinished, Madam Chairman? I didn't know if there were any others that had other topics to talk about.
That was the only written request.
JD, let's see if there's any other, then we'll get into, is that okay under unfinished and try to respond to it? I didn't know if we want to keep any other residents from speaking that have other issues. Thank you.
The lady in the back?
My name is Jada Phillips. I live at 31957 Newcastle Street in Romulus. I came last week. I was at the wrong meeting. I was at the city planning meeting. So I just have one concern, one question actually. You guys probably are already in the making of doing this. And I did make some phone calls today trying to get on the agenda. But I'm a little concerned that the neighborhood that I live in right now, when I first moved there 8 years ago, I had maybe 1 or 2 group homes that was there. Now, there's multiple. And in the apartment complex, there's multiple people that are there for direct care. And my main concern is sidewalks on Ecorse Road and lighting right there at Ecorse and Merriman, because I saw someone get hit by a car because of how dark it is. But it concerns me with us having the amount of people with disabilities in our neighborhood that don't have sidewalks to walk back and forth to that gas station or to Sonny's. So I just wanted to bring that forth to the city council. You probably are already in the making of it, because we're right across the street from where Amazon is at. But it's just, it's a little scary when you got bears sitting on each side of the gas station because there's no sidewalks. Or you're walking, or you're driving and you see some of our people that have mental illness issues, and they're a little closer to the side of the street, but then you got cars that's making wide turns, or trucks that's making wide turns, or people that's turning off of Merriman onto Ecorse and not doing the speed limit that they should be doing, and someone gets hit. So I was just wondering if that was something that was in the making for us. If not, it's just, I'm just concerned because we have so many more people there now than we did before when I moved there about 8 years ago. So that was just my concern. Okay, am I free?
Anyone else? Yes, Jazzy.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Jasmine Dancy, Director of Community Services, and I just wanted to touch a little bit more on the Senior Olympics for this year. I had the pleasure of attending on a few different days and even helping run one of the events during the week. And it is a week-long event. This year it was held in Trenton. Next year it will be held in Flat Rock. It is a competition for 18 different communities in the Downriver area, and our participants have a great time. And something that I was especially proud of this year is that we had so many first-time competitors this year. We had a few new people last year, and they brought their friends and their family to compete this year. So our team is really growing. Romulus is doing great. Just as a final total, we had 12 gold, 10 silver, and 8 bronze medals. So I just think it's a great opportunity for our residents ages 50 and up. So it's not just what you might think of as, just a traditional senior event. It's 50 and up, anybody can compete, and it's not just sports either. They have baking, they have chili cook-offs, they have card games, euchre, golf, in addition to the more traditional type sports and things. So it's really people of all ages and interest levels. We are really wanting to push this and continue to grow the team for our city, and I think everybody had a great time. It usually takes place around the last week of July, first week of August, and we take signups, in the months of June and July leading up to that. So please stay informed, stay in touch with us if you're interested in competing next year. Sign up at our senior center during that time, or visit downriverseniorolympics.org for more information. But I would just like to ask for one more round of applause for our competitors this year. They did a great job.
Yes, Ms. Sullivan.
Good evening, Jan Lemon. Mayor, this weekend at the pig roast proved what you have been saying all along. The community came together. The pig roast served 140 people. We had plenty of food, and of course Jan worries all about if we have enough for everybody. Mr. Wadsworth, the donation of that TV brought us a lot of money. It was just amazing to see the people, because we said we was not going to start until 6 o'clock. Well, they were lined up at 5:30.
Yep.
They were ready to eat. Everything went off very smooth. The TV went, everybody's anxious for this television. Well, I sold tickets in the park right before, and the last ticket in my pocket was $388. Well, the person that won the TV was $382. So the ticket was sold right in the park. The balance for the cemetery fund right now is $5,069 on just the two events we've done. Our next euchre tournament we know will bring us $2,000. So I'm going to be knocking on your door to get some money to get that gate for the south entrance. So I just have to thank everybody who helped. You know who you are. Mary Oakley done a great job. Nancy came in, our former board member, pitched right in and done. Craig done a wonderful job with the pig. Linda, you were there. Sheldon, Tammy. It was a wonderful event. Craig's already talking about next year. I told him I'm getting too old for this. Thank you.
It was great. It was great. Anyone else? I guess we can close that.
Number 8 is unfinished business.
Mrs. Jokes.
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth.
If I could, during the Pumpkin Festival weekend, there's two events I'd like to make the public aware of. The first one is the White Elephant Sale at St. Aloysius. It'll be held in the barn on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I think it's going to be on the website with the times. They're 3 to 6, 10 to 7 on Saturday, and 12 to 4 on Sunday. And of course, the animal shelter bingo is being again this year, one of the biggest fundraisers that we have. We've lost a couple of volunteers because they're going to be out of town. So if you're interested in volunteering, get a hold of myself or Joe Uzu. And of course, all the funds go directly to the shelter. If you don't like bingo, but you like cats and dogs and would like to make a donation, stop by. There'll be a jar there. And everything we raise goes directly into the shelter, and it's in memory of Frank Ayers. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Madam Chairman, if I could just address a couple issues under unfinished. The lady that asked for a request about the streetlights and sidewalk information, I think we got the information. We'd like to, there's some processes for that, so we can help. There are some planned sidewalks in the Amazon area, but only on the south side, I believe. So we can share the plans with that. And then there's a process for both sidewalks and streetlights that if the residents want to get involved. We also do have a small sidewalk fund that, in lieu of where sidewalks don't make sense, we put that money aside to utilize in places where we do require them. As you know, we try to pick up whenever they do county road projects. Last year on Eureka Road and some others, we were able to enhance some sidewalks because some of that funding came from federal funding. So we'd be happy to share that. I know, I think I did catch part of the Planning Commission where she was there. And some of these areas are past worn, and that's usually a pretty good indicator that there's a lot of people walking that we need to look at. So we'll be happy to meet with that resident. On the issue of the River Oak, I've had a series of meetings and emails, and I would like to have our Director of Public Safety, J.D. Settles, come up and at least give you a briefing on what we've been doing in that area. It's a lot more complicated than a quick fix, but I think we're making good progress. J.D.?
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor, City Council. J.D. Settles, Director of Public Safety. I've been personally involved in the River Oak cleanup for the last couple of months. There has been a tremendous amount of progress. There's still a lot left to do. One of the holdups is that the property management company has dug up the sidewalk, and they've been pretty slow about pouring the cement. I was out there today. I've been speaking with the tenant, Sierra Sadico, on a weekly basis, so we are staying in contact with her. As soon as the concrete get poured, they will move additional items out of the backyard. As far as the vehicle that Mr. Avery spoke about, that vehicle is legally plated. It does have an engine in the hood. I looked under the hood personally. We've had the owner start it up. So if there's a vehicle parked legally in front of, on a public street, there's nothing we can do about it. I will admit it's not the best looking vehicle in the neighborhood, but I mean, it's legally plated. It's parked legally. There's nothing we can do about that. As far as Mr. Patton's claim that we've not done anything, we have misdemeanor warrants on both Ms. Sadico and Mr. Hillsman. I purposely have not chosen to take them into custody because at this point, if I take them into custody, it will only delay the cleanup of the property. So as soon as they make some more progress, we probably will take them into custody. So any questions?
Yes. How
Yes,
long
Mr.
have, I'm sorry, thank
Go
you.
ahead.
How long have we been waiting for them to pour that cement?
Probably 6 weeks.
What is the holdup?
Some of it has been due to
We've had a dry spell.
They are moving slow. We've met with the property manager, and I've informed him that we will issue tickets to him also if he does not, continue to. Oh, he's already been cited by you. Yeah. So.
Okay, 6 weeks is a long time, and we've had a dry spell. We just had rain recently. I just think that he needs to be ticketed.
Yeah. So no, we. Yeah,
Well,
so-
we're gonna have to ticket him again to get him moving, because that's just too long.
I mean, we could ticket him all day long. I mean, that may speed him up, and it may not. But we will continue to take some type of action and monitor that.
I had to ask, we did meet with the two gentlemen that were here, and I asked to have a follow-up meeting, once we got an update on progress. So I wasn't aware that they were coming tonight. Maybe we can schedule that as well sooner rather than later. But our commitment is to try to address the issue, to address, it's a tough situation on that street, and it's compounded when they do have the sale over there. But we'll stay on it and try to keep council up to date.
Yeah. And as far as Mr. Patton's claim, we do have a trespassing warrant for, I think it's Mr. Hillman. So, we have been taking action. Any more questions?
Any more? Thank you.
I just wanted to add on a citation process. Once a citation is issued, they'll go before the prosecutor, so they have a time between the citation that is issued and that time before the prosecutor. And typically, they'll go to the prosecutor, say they need time to get things done, and the prosecutor will push them out 6-8 weeks. So they do have ample time to get done. When they go back and they don't have it done at that time frame, then the prosecutor will be a little bit more stern with them. But they have to afford people their time to get things taken care of. So it's not uncommon. It does frustrate us sometimes, but it's not uncommon. They have a right to due process. So, but we'll look into it first thing in the morning again.
Have they been before the prosecutor yet?
Yes.
And the prosecutor gave them how long?
I'd have to look at the file on it and see what the dates were and get back to you on it.
Okay, please.
Thank you. Any other unfinished business? Ready for the next one?
All right, moving on. Number 9 is new business. Number 10 is communication.
There's none.
Number 11 for approval is warrant 17-16.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we pay warrant 17-16 in the following amounts. General Fund, $111,611.29. Major Street Fund, $1,815.90. Local Street Fund, $6,113.19. Cable TV, $284.50. CDBG, $149.25. 9/11 Service Fund, $885.15. Law Enforcement, $119.75. NARC forfeiture for the state, $1,036.01. Library Fund, $8,266.50. DDA, $990.15. Tifa District 2, $20.10. Court Building Construction Fund, $762.75. Vining Road Extension E-Course Construction, $1,776.75. Water and Sewer Fund, $762,585.13. Motor Vehicle, $37,251.56. Technology Services, $8,060.23. Retiree Insurance Benefits, $191,428.52. Revolving Fund, $8,079.45. Current tax, $9. Payroll Fund, $226,874.32, for a grand total of, let's see, $1,368,079.30.
Motion is by Ms. Abdu, supported by Mr. Crop, to pay warrant 1716 in the full amount of $1,368,079.30. Ms. Abdu?
Yes.
Mr. Crop?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Roscoe?
Yes.
And I vote yes. So warrant 1716 will be paid.
Number 12 is adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe, that we adjourn this meeting. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Crop?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion is carried. We are adjourned.